Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out, y'all. This is the Remix Morning Show. And I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. In case you didn't know, this is Black Liberation Media, and we are here to bring you that boom bap breakfast. And yes, it is us. Not just me. Let me introduce you to my partner in crime. You know who he is, Dr. Jared Ball.
I like that groove. What's up, my man? What's up, remixers? What's up, world? What's the latest?
Start off with a little
Walaikum salam.
Dreams. Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam.
My bad. Say what that was again.
Brooklyn Dreams, music, harmony, and rhythm. Yes, sir.
Word up.
That's
Nice.
That's a break beat, actually. Pete Rock used that one.
Yeah, I couldn't place it, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
No classical breakdown for y'all today. I'm blaming Kim. But yeah. We're gonna do I was just thinking another producer definitely want to do Pete Rock. That's another producer I want to do a classical breakdown on.
Oh, you got to. So you appropriately, started with a premiere joint.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the list of producers that deserve a highlight like that is I don't know about long, but there's a few of them.
Well, I was thinking who started in the 80s, and both Pete
That's
Rock
right.
and Premier started in the 80s. And I could say Q-Tip also, which has
Q-Tip for sure.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
No, I was thinking about Dilla, doing the Dilla one also.
Does he go back to the 80s?
Nah,
I feel like he's younger than that. Yeah.
He's not.
He deserves it though.
He deserves it. I was saying because of all the neo soul and different things he did, he got to get it.
And then when you've experienced, as I've been privileged to, a DC Loves Dilla day or night show.
Oh, damn.
Where I believe they do it every year. I've only been to at least one, maybe two, and then a couple side events, but one major one at the Howard Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful moment, like, because when they do that track, we must be in love. The DJ was like, it was one of those like really hype moments, and the DJ said, told everybody, turn to somebody in the club and tell them we must be in love. And we was turning to strangers like, we
dope.
must be in love. That joint was crazy.
Yo, that shit sound like church.
Oh man, for me, I get it. That's what it is. It
is.
is. It takes you to another level. And so yeah, Dilla definitely would deserve one, even if he was younger. I still think Eric Sermon is underappreciated as a producer. I think
Yeah,
he should.
Definitely back from the 80s. I don't know what he's doing now, but I'm pretty sure we can dig it up and find out.
I mean, he was up into the 2000s at least with
just like
that
music.
That joint is crazy.
Oh my god,
that joint is crazy.
I was one of the first to bring another like the old school on the track and play their vocals and stuff, and then make it sound like it was a duet. That was dope.
Exactly. And yeah. So there's a couple of them. But Pete Rock for sure deserves one.
Yeah,
and
especially after
I got
go
ahead.
Especially after the Common album he just did this year with Common, and the album he did with Griselda. Like he's still doing stuff.
Okay,
with
that
people.
I haven't heard. The Common one didn't. I don't know. I might be hating on Common too much, but it didn't.
I think for adult hip hop, best album of the year. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
It was that good to you?
Yeah, okay. It was. Because I could still, you know how you can't play a song like I can listen to Kendrick and play it like once or twice. Like I could play this Common and Pete Rock album over and over again and still be all right. But so last day of school was when?
Yesterday for me. My classes ended yesterday, and salute to the students and to those who are going to be. I've been trying to avoid it for 20 years. This end of the semester, my bad. What can I do to fix my grade? Email. And I mean, at this point, yeah, it's like, nah, man, we're not doing that. But it was great. I enjoyed the semester. I'm very happy for it to be over. I'm looking forward to this break. 4 4s. That course load is no joke. But yeah. So looking forward to this break.
Today, I'm last day of the after school program. We're gonna do our big showcase next Thursday. Invite the parents out and stuff, and show them the film of everything they've been doing. Make it look real nice. But I'm gonna feed them some food, and give them a movie today, and let them just chill out. So
what movie though?
That's a good question. That's what I ain't figured out yet, because I'm trying to steer towards a hip hop movie, since my class is more around hip hop, podcasting, and DJing. But
well, I'm just gonna I gotta shamelessly plug this as for did with it. This right here, my introductory critical media literacy video mixtape.
Okay.
I was watching it again yesterday. The joint is kind of fire, man. This joint is kind of fire, man.
It's kind of fire. I gotta check it.
I kind of, it's like it's a collect. I put together some interviews with
who is that?
Easy. That's Dr. Morgan Maxwell, a brilliant younger scholar. Take it easy. We appreciate the intellect.
Yeah.
But it's got it's got like I got some
Sandra Bland.
It's a little mixtape joint. Got some beats from Heck Dolo on it. Got some videos from Cornell West in the joint. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
You know what I mean? So like, it's a good teaching tool. And I was just, I had made it for my classes, and I was kind of like, this is better than I remember. Dr. Joy James is in it. Janine Jackson's in it.
So you
Sophia
can put that on in class and just sit back.
I think it works, and some of the references are outdated in terms of what the youth would be interested in, because it's got references. Yeah, that Biff Tannen joint. Look at that. Real hip hop heads. I'm just playing. But the Cornell West Theory is a legendary band, hip hop band. And that track, Biff Tannen, is bananas.
What was that professor's name again?
Easy, my man. Easy.
Oh my God.
Easy.
Yo, man. I'm just trying to get some fly, like, burn it down, Kim Brown.
Yeah. Of course. Good morning. But take it easy. Take it easy.
Where's she teach?
Hey fellas, how's it going?
Hey,
what's going
Kim?
on? Yeah. Look at you got
it. I'm flustered over here.
This too.
Hey Kim, what's good, yo? Where you been? God damn, we gotta wait till Thursday to see you.
She got the fly Cameron pink hoodie on.
Yeah, she does.
I'm saying that pink power. What's it called? What's his erection medicine?
Pink horsepower.
The pink horsepower. That's what they say in the streets anyway. But
how you been?
I'm good. How's y'all feelings?
I'm great. I'm great.
Great. I love that. Not just good. Oh, I'm okay. No, y'all great this morning.
No, I'm great today because I'm back off my juice fast. I was up bright early 6 o'clock hitting that coffee and them oats and blueberries because I was like, my God, this has got to end immediately.
You was dancing around the kitchen, huh?
Hell yeah.
You had a drug test? You had to pass a drug test?
Oh, no. Those days are over, and I'm not passing ass and shit at this point. Trust that. But
he was listening to the ear doctor, Kim.
I was listening to the ear doctor. And said, let me try this 3-day juice fast, and trying to get my my gut biome, my microbiome back in order.
I got you. Okay, so what were the results? Do y'all feel cleansed? What's the
there is I do feel better. I didn't get to where I wanted to go. I would have to probably go longer. But it felt good. And then the mental gymnastics of overcoming, just 3 days of no food and no coffee was, and it was like a real fiend. It would go like one moment I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, I'm good. This is easy. Oh, I got this. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh my God. If I don't put some food and a cup of coffee, I'm gonna kill everybody around me.
So do you get exemptions for tea? Because I feel like that's kind of mean for caffeine addicts to just quit coffee cold turkey without like a caffeine supplement or a green tea.
No. Well, you can have green tea. You can have, and they were very clear. No, it has to be 0 caffeine and fully organic. And so they suggested green tea, herbal tea. I had a nice organic ginger tea. And then I followed this schedule, this juice fast schedule. So I was just staying focused from 2 hours to the next 2 hours. Like, when is my next juice? Just stay it was like, just hold on.
Yeah. And, man, Kim, I'm telling you, it is a game changer when you think about discipline. When you think about discipline and having being able to control your own body, your own hunger and stuff, and being like, no, I'm not going to give in. I know I'm not going to die if I don't eat. But just being like, no, saying that and having that discipline, that's what I love about Islamic faith. Big up to Brother Jamil, the fact that they're able to do these fasts and stuff like that. And you don't hear no complaints?
During Ramadan? You don't hear no complaints?
I mean, not like they do it. It's part of their culture.
No disrespect. Making it to sundown is different than multiple days of fasting. So like, if I understand it correctly, you just got to make it to sundown, and then you can have something. And I'm like,
who else does it? Like has that as part of their culture? Yeah, I know.
I don't know about that.
I know it ain't Kamal K. Franklin.
Oh no, hell no.
That thing can't go a day without.
Hell no.
3 hours without some chicken.
What? He said he can't go 3 hours without chicken.
He's probably right. No, he's probably right. I don't think he's wrong there. I can't say much. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Y'all better have a hen pen on that community movement builders compound, shorty. I'm not gonna make it without no chickens around.
We got chickens.
I know you do. I bet
you're not supposed to be making the announcement, but since you're making the announcement,
I mean the compound in the ether. It's
not in the ether though. It's not in the ether.
Okay,
so
well then
the closing is tomorrow. What did pictures?
Hey.
There you go.
But can you plug in your mic though?
I thought it was plugged in, son.
I don't know. Why do you sound so far away? No, that's not making any difference whatsoever.
I thought if I held
you're trying to give big announcements and whatnot.
Oh my
God, that was good. Oh wait a minute.
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's worse.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
I thought there was a light on this.
But just again, this is clip this, everybody, for your professionalism in the workplace videos. This is exactly how you do it. Right there, live on screen, holding up the whole mic, trying to figure out.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
No, definitely not working.
Yes,
it's not working. You should probably check your settings or something.
Now needs his mic.
Check the settings.
I don't know.
Popping.
Now mic ain't rocking.
It's off tonight.
Clocking.
Damn, why everything got to be a song with us?
But now I'm scared. Did I plug it? I didn't plug it in. That's why.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jared.
Go. I'm just saying.
Now the light is on.
Oh, there's
now
not
we
a
can
light.
hear you.
Yeah.
That's better.
And remember that's how it goes when you probably in the revolution with Kamal. Like you ready to win, and then it's like, oh my bad, it wasn't plugged in. All right, you're like we about to free him. I'm pushing the button on the
I ain't got the key.
Delay it. I need 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes.
Right. I can just see it now. We about to be
Yeah.
free.
And then the
like,
sirens coming. Yeah, my bad. Then I do that. I go like, my bad.
my bad.
We
My
still
bad.
have some
You get
chicken in the
dragged
joint.
off
Though.
to the
Have
whole
some chicken in the joint.
Right.
Oh,
The last
snap.
words you hear before that cell door shuts is Kamal saying, my bad.
My bad.
My bad.
My bad.
Whoops.
I knew it was something.
Lee, I knew it was something.
Right,
Like,
right. And
golly.
Kamal knows somebody coming to get him. He gets coming to get me, y'all. Y'all gonna be okay? Y'all
Yeah,
good in here? All
Right.
right.
I got
All
my
right.
bail. Like, I check back with you, though, on his way out. I check back in on you, though.
No, he's a dude
Give me a
that be
couple of
mad
months.
quiet.
I got to make some moves. Give me a couple of months to get
Give
you
me a
out.
couple. Right. I got you, though. I got
Sit
you.
tight. Be strong.
He be the one and just talking the most shit. Like, man, we gonna be in here till we get justice. And then here come, all right, Mr.
Well,
Franklin.
you ready for me? Okay, y'all. Now hold it down, y'all.
Franklin,
Hold it.
you've made bail.
I'm gonna give a good speech. I'm gonna give you a good speech to keep you going, though.
He is gonna give a good
Little
speech. though.
speech.
He will
Yo,
give a good speech. He be out there.
Kamal is a great speaker, man.
No
He came
doubt.
to the Black Man Lab and listen, he had the room's attention. They was just like, I was like, I ain't seen. Listen, Kamal was good. That motherfucker good.
Brother Malcolm.
It's Malcolmish,
Hey.
yeah. Malcolmish.
Oh wow! Now see, that's when
I
see,
see.
you're not supposed to agree, my man. That's what fucks up the whole thing.
If Malcolm had lived. If Malcolm had lived.
If Malcolm,
Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's what he's talking about. oh, Theo.
If Theo had
Huxtable.
lived. If Theo had lived.
if Theo had lived,
Oh man, it's good to see
Oh.
y'all today, man. We all in good energy. I love it.
Oh, wait, I didn't make my announcement.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Sure
tomorrow's the
didn't.
official closing date for Community Movement Builders. We will have farmland over 13 acres in Georgia, retreat space, farmland, organizing space. It's already got structures on it. The project is called Love, Land, and Liberation. There's no social media up yet about it at all, but we will be putting things up soon. And so we've gotten a lot of generous support from everybody, like our organizers and people around us in the community and other folks who reached out and given us resources. So, we always talk about, Black nationalists, we love land. We love to say we own land, right? And it's 13.6 acres of land. And we can do that on the land. We can do that on the land.
Yeah.
We got goats on the land. We got chickens on the land. So we signed paperwork tomorrow, and it is official. Organizations will be like after we build our second structure our third structure on the land for retreat space. It'll be opened up for folks to use for organizers, for trainings, and the rest of it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope.
Congratulations, Kamal, and to CMB.
It's a big deal.
What are the rules with the range work? So if you bring something that's legal and registered in one state, can you bring it down there and
Oh yeah.
let it run a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our only problem, like I won't disclose actual location at this stage. The only problem is that we do have neighbors, but because it's the culture, everybody has a little spot where they do it at on their land, and no one complains or anything like that. And they don't know who, they don't know us like that in terms of who we are. We're working with Jericho, obviously the political prisoner support organization. A lot of close work with Jihad, former political prisoner, who's going to be doing a lot of work on the land also. So it's So it's a good look, and it's a good thing to have and to start building out.
Go
And
beat
we
your neighbor,
also,
man.
secondly, we also just brought a community house in Dallas for our Dallas chapter. So our Dallas chapter, has a place where they're going to be doing organizing work out of. That's our very own. And so we're happy for them too. Yeah.
Making moves. That's what the fuck I'm
Trying to
talking
do that.
about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Congratulations.
You should get it.
And I'm making plans already.
That's right. That's right. We coming through that motherfucker.
Because up here, without getting into too many details, up here there's a couple rules and regulations for certain things, and then when you want to go and enjoy some of the finer rights under the Second Amendment, there's like, in this particular case, I would have had to be, they basically want you to sort of socialize with a group of people. I have no intention of ever, like, it was like, you can't, in other words, you can't just come here and do your thing. They was like, you got to go through this little socialization process so they know who's, and I was like, no, I'm good. Cause I was like, I was like, can I just show up and do my, get my spot and go and leave? And they were like, no, it doesn't work like that. And for several places around here. So I was like, I don't really want to, like, I don't want to socialize with them. I don't want to know these, because it's like a lot of, I'm assuming there's a lot of Cecil County types. You know what I mean? I don't need,
But they have, like, here too, like when like the formal ranges, like the ones that are open, it's almost like you see all types. So you see some black folks training, you see the white militia folks training, so it's like everybody's mixed in with their guns. It's
just like a little agreement. Like,
it's a little agreement. Like, this is like neutral territory. You get to practice. I'm sure there's cops there. There's whole kinds of different groups there training on different places or whatever like that. But there's also in Georgia where folks just have private land. And in some ways, depending on where the land is, obviously you don't need any. You can just go do your thing. It depends on what's around you, and it's more like that. But there's other places where if you basically there's informal agreements and no one, law enforcement or whatever allows stuff to happen. So
that was like the place Griff brought me when he took me to the range. It was just like all types of people in there. I was like, all right, they're getting busy up in here. And Kim, you ever pop one off? Oh, my bad. I forgot. The DC girl.
Well, I'm not from DC. I'm very much from Laurel, Maryland. But
Maryland, my bad.
my family members are gun enthusiasts. And all my cousins had guns as kids.
And in Maryland, can you legally carry?
No.
Oh no.
I'm talking about I'm talking about my country relatives in Virginia. But no, going to the range. So there is a shooting range out in Western Howard County. One of my family members actually is part of an organization of Black gun enthusiasts that every Juneteenth they do a special kind of shooting event at this gun range out in Western Howard County to train Black people specifically on handguns. But we shoot ARs, shoot the big 45s, shoot the Little Jones. Yeah. I'm a good.
You can bring. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I got to get caught up on that one.
Really quick, I was going to say I haven't been following it closely, but I've got to believe that the Supreme Court is going to be knocking down all them liberal state gun laws, and making it so that you can carry like the South, like, because that's their big thing is the whole Second Amendment thing. And right now, obviously, a lot of East Coast states, maybe some West Coast states have certain protections around schools, or obviously it's hard to get a permit to carry. At least it used to be. My thinking is that they're going to knock all that down over the next couple of years, but I haven't been following it too closely at this stage.
I'm a little torn on that because there are very strict gun laws in Maryland and DC in particular. And I think it definitely deters people from going through the whole process of, say, getting a handgun in particular, right? You can get a shotgun, you can have a rifle, but to get a handgun, you have to take a class, right? You have to go through all this and that stuff that you don't have to do usually in the red state. So I kind of disagree with that level of regulation. At the same time, when I'm in red state America and I see people open carrying, it's jarring. It's like, there's 12 guns in the Kroger. What the fuck's going on in here? So I don't know. I disagree with the strict regulations because I don't think that they do anything to drive down gun violence, right? There's still plenty of gun violence in DC and in the surrounding areas, and there's very strict laws on the books. So I don't think
part of that is because in the South you could just bring your gun, like where they get the guns at, you just bring them up, and because there's just such loose, like the illegal guns, whatever. So it doesn't stop, whatever. But I'm similar. I'm kind of, me. I'm liberal on the use of everybody having a gun. I think in civilized society, it should not be like guns are like the guns outnumber the people in the population. Like in a civilized society, I believe all that stuff should be restricted. Actually, so
you said in a civilized society.
Yeah, I just don't think America is a civilized society. So I think everybody's got to protect themselves, because you got crazy people out here with crazy feelings and emotions, and the culture is based on gun culture. But for me, in a society that has some feeling of care for each other, the idea of it is that guns will not be so rampant in society or whatever like that. So
I guess this is a good transition to a story that happened about somebody getting.
I was gonna say, New York City don't, I mean, what are the laws there? Some people are just at a certain point, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter. To Kim's point, yeah. So
in DC, you can carry though.
No. I mean, if you have a concealed carry license, you can carry, but you cannot open carry in DC.
I was about to say,
and they're not easy to get. Like you can't. You gotta.
I was about to call my sister and be like, you can't.
No, this area is. That's always been my thing. I've always felt like my simple unstudied conclusion is that northeastern rich political whites are not going to tolerate that. It's not like the deep South, that new money type of thing. The old money folks, they're like, nah, we can't have everybody running around here. The people we pay for to have guns are the only ones we want to have the guns. But then DC changed immediately as soon as it started to gentrify more in terms of what is allowed and not allowed. But yeah, no, handguns in DC and Maryland are very difficult or difficult to get and very difficult to have a concealed carry.
Legally.
Legally, that is, of course, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome out to the Remix Morning Show, y'all. We're going to get into how some people got laid down. We're going to talk about, what is it? Also, it's a bunch of stuff going on. Like I said, I heard about martial law getting stopped, a bunch of stuff going on. So we're going to get into it right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know how to get y'all morning workout on. Y'all know what we got to do at this time when this beat drop. We go. Let's get it right here on the Remix Morning Show. All right. Anyway, welcome out, y'all. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to the Patreon. Become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate. This is Giving Thursday. So Giving Thursday. That's right. You can donate right here on blackliberationmedia.org. blkliberationmedia.org. All right, boom. So let's talk about it. All right, as y'all seen on the thumbnail, y'all seen the group. We was talking about the Sugar Hill Gang, y'all. Yes, the Sugar Hill Gang. Now, a lot of people known for one-hit wonders, but they actually were two-hit wonders. Yes, we all know about the one song that came out, which is Rapper's Delight, that came out in 1979. But do you know that they had 5 albums? This group, Sugar Hill Gang, had 5 albums. Sugar Hill Gang in 1980, Eighth Wonder in 81, Rapping Downtown in 83, Living in the Fast Lane 84, and Jump on It in 1999. We definitely wasn't checking for them in 1999. Trust and believe. But yo, they was a two-hit wonder. We talking about Apache. This song will always go down in history as a song that gets people on the dance floor and knows how to do a certain dance. So I just want to give it up to this two-hit wonder group, Sugar Hill Gang, y'all, off their album Eighth Wonder. So, which was a crazy rhyme, but at the same time they were saying Apache Jump on It. Would that be allowed in this time and era? Talking about the Native Americans and dressing up in their headdresses in a video? I don't know. Let's go back to our DC specialists that know a little bit of something about that right here on the Remix Morning Show.
Fuss in the end, you'll agree when you come inside.
The song is racist as fuck, but it's so good. But it is so good. But it is so good.
And just as bad, I think we got to revisit this history. This is the beginning of the end. It was like hip hop co-opted at the very beginning. taking what black people are doing in the streets and market it to white folks with fake rappers using other people's names and lyrics in a concocted, forced grouping. I mean, Sylvia knew what she was doing. I mean, she was like, I'm getting paid. I've been getting ripped off of this music industry for so long. I'm about to flip it. And I found my hustle. And she did.
Didn't my man take somebody else's lyrics and just basically just random over?
Yeah. And I forget the name, but years later, they were like all these interviews and documentaries were coming out, people talking about, they was like, yeah, that was my lyrics and my name and my this and my that. And that dude didn't rhyme and that dude didn't this. And if you listen carefully, I forgot the exact verse, but you hear him rhyming someone else's name.
Yeah, Grandmaster Caz.
Okay, that's my bad. Yeah. So right. So it's like
he got the show with old girl on I said about to say Jingle Bells Radio. Rock the Bells Radio. Grandmaster Caz and the sister from Funky 4+1. Damn, Shy Rock. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, he talks about it a lot.
Somebody saying that he wrote it for him. Did he write it for him or did he take it?
No, he wrote the rhyme and then what's the name? Stole the rhyme because he was working with him, managing him. Like,
he was not. No. This was not some ghost written thing. It was he took my shit.
Yeah,
it's the early days of hip hop. It was the first one to get on wax wins.
If that was the actual inception of rap, isn't that what rap is then? You know what I mean? If it was
Brooklyn keeps on taking it.
Ghost writing and stealing. And how does that differ per se from other genres of black music and how they've been stolen from and exploited?
It doesn't.
Previous to rap?
That's exactly the point. And forgive me for saying it this way. This is exactly the point I've been arguing with some of my hip hop studies peers who don't obviously pay me any attention. I'm arguing it's a one unidirectional argument, but that's been my argument that that my generation, the hip hop generation, was so busy defending, rightfully, the art form that we lost sight of the politics and the structure it was going into. So we're claiming all this newness, and they plugged the colonial model, plugged it right back into the same shit, and they did. So I used to look into all the same thing. They did it with jazz, where Miles Davis would literally openly talk about, I go downtown and play this shit for the white folks, get my money, and then go uptown and play what I really want to play. And going all the way back to the earliest days of written sheet music, they've been doing this. Stealing blues and old so-called Negro spirituals, writing it down, stealing it yet again, sort of, and then republishing. So for white folk, for white audiences. So that's always been the conundrum. And that's why, and I'll stop here, when Harold Cruz asked famously or said something to the effect, what happens to your art once it becomes part of the nation's cultural store? And I think that's what, that's my short.
We had the conversation the other day we was talking about, I think with Ricky, we was talking about how we created everything. So you're going to get everything. We are the culture. Like we invented everything. So anything we do is a gift to everybody, so of course they're gonna steal it.
Is it a gift or is it a steal?
It's a gift to the world, that what we give to the world. You know, Louis
Armstrong famously quoted, like someone asked him, like, how do you succeed in this business? And he straightforwardly said something like, you become some white man's nigga. Louis Armstrong said that shit. He's like, you got to get put on. Like, that was back in the day and shit. So, and that day hasn't changed that much, right?
So today at 4:00, I'm going to see the new soundtrack to a coup d'etat documentary that just came out that goes into the history of Armstrong and others being used as cover for CIA and other initiatives to assassinate African leaders. So speaking of being a white man's nigga, that was like the epitome of that shit. Like whether he knew, we'll see what the documentary says in terms of how much he knew of what he was doing in that moment or what he was being connected to. But I can't wait to go see this thing either.
Not that I know what made a difference to him, but
how you see it already, Elon? Elon said it's great. How you see it? My bad, Kamal. Yeah.
Oh no. No, I was just going to say, like, my recollection of hearing part of the story, was that like the Chuck D shit, similar to State Department organized, the CIA organized a tour that was around that time to divert attention of Louis Armstrong going to the Congo and other nations in Africa at the same time. They were murdering, killing Patrice Lumumba and so forth. So
the soundtrack is called.
They set it up so it wasn't like he knew, but I don't know. Yeah.
2 F's. It's called Soundtrack to a Coup d'Etat, and then because I'm so amped up, I'm gonna share my thoughts immediately when I get home tonight. So, but
before you move on, go ahead.
real quick, one of the Hillary Clinton, when she was Secretary of State, said we're going to use hip hop ambassadors the way we did previously in the 50s with jazz to promote. She said this explicitly. So yeah, they're very clear about their intent for the art. Yeah.
I know if you start again, I know you're not going to like this, but one of the things I appreciate about Chomsky is that when they lay out the documents of like the inside documentation and he covers it in his books, he makes it very clear.
My bad. My fingers.
It's not so bad. I knew it was coming.
We all knew it was coming.
He makes it very clear. That obviously, and we talk about this often, that obviously a lot of the stuff that we get, this human rights talk, is for the public, but in their own private documents, which at the time they wrote, they never thought would be released or weren't counted. They're very straightforward, that it's all about power politics or what they're trying to do. There's no
soft power.
Yeah. So I wanted to real quick. So it says, Easy D, you're not wrong. Even Elvis. Don't go even Elvis. Especially Elvis. Yes, especially Elvis. I just saw.
But what was the point of the comment, though? But what was the point of that comment? I didn't.
Oh, they were saying like even Elvis stole black music, and my point is like no, not even Elvis.
Yeah, right.
Elvis is
especially
he's the figurehead of that, right? Like between Elvis and Eminem, right next to each other. Put them niggas right adjacent.
But what about when you grow up around black people like that, just like Eminem? Like
I don't care. I don't care.
Like you're around this environment and you copy what's going on in the environment.
It's rehearsed. It's not even like it's also. They got management, it's rehearsed. They're not paying the artists. They're not paying the writers. They're not putting the producers on. And then publicly for a long time, Elvis was overtly racist towards black people. So fuck it. You know what I mean? Like
even growing up in Memphis, the movie didn't depict that.
It's not personal. Who's this? Who's the white boy? Who's Teddy Swims?
Oh yeah.
Do you know him with that soul song he's got a big hit off of?
Yeah.
I was like, of course this sounds good. This is the blackest, most stolen soul sound ever. And it's not personal to him or to Eminem. Again, they're talented. I'm not mad at the talent, and I'm not mad that if you grew up around black. I don't care if you've never met a black person. Of course you appreciate black art and would want to emulate that. I'm not mad at the individual, but given this context, to me, it doesn't matter. They get the same Elvis Presley category of treatment because this society, as Greg Tate perfectly laid out, the late great, is always looking for the white boy to perform blackness, the white person to perform blackness. That's all this country has ever been looking for in their art. So that's
and sport also.
Exactly.
I think about Caitlin Clark. Like they act like bitches was never playing basketball before.
Exactly.
They act like this is the first time they've ever seen a woman dribble a basketball when Caitlin Clark did it.
And Pat Boone, and Pat Boone, I just did this review that I couldn't help but watch that new whack ass Reagan movie, and Pat Boone shows up in the film playing an older senator in a scene where he is himself as a young man helping Ronald Reagan perform his propagandistic takeover in the 80s. So yeah, all of them, but the same thing, all of them. And then they take that white performance of blackness to the example of Pat Boone, right back to the white politics, never mind money creation, wealth creation. But then they go right back to white politics. Like they don't become, other than Eminem being the only one to take a knee at the Super Bowl during the
He the Jim Brown of
He
rap.
just won. He was the
The
safest
Jim
one.
Brown. You better stop it.
Speaking
You better
of,
stop it.
this is what they was talking. Dr. Ball was talking about.
Something's got a hold on me lately, though I don't know myself anymore.
Of course, it's dope.
Yeah.
Pick a soul record from the '50s. Who has not done that? Pick a Sam Cooke record.
That's
Pick
mad
a Beatles
Motown.
record.
That's Motown
That's
for real.
everybody. Of course, it sounds good. You got some new whatchamacallit on it, and then he got whatever, and then he gets this. And to the point of Eminem, when that cannabis beef, if you go the one of the last things I watched that I appreciated when cannabis showed up on Math Hoffa's show a couple years ago. And to the extent this is true, it made sense. He said one of the reasons why he lost that beef with Eminem is that the industry promoted Eminem over him to the point of getting cannabis blocked from venues. So, so like whenever they would hear he was doing a show, he said that they would come in and buy out the venue or buy out or do some other, I forgot what he said, do some other kind of chicanery to get his show canceled or blocked. So Eminem, so it was like it's the structural imposition of these folks that makes, so it's not personal, and I'm not saying they're not talented. I just can't get past this. Like it's yeah. I mean, I can't, they can never be on the top of nothing for me. They can't never be great to me. They can't, and they're never going to get the appropriate, even what they maybe deserve in terms of acknowledgement from me, to the extent anybody gives a shit. But that, like, I'm not giving it to them. Like, you just can't have it. It's just all stolen shit.
Well, let's give the people some news.
Let's give it to them. No, right.
All right. Well, let's slap the map then. No? Yes.
2-step.
Yeah. Imagine the first white boy that does Afro beats.
Oh, he's not there yet?
Not yet. Well, I'm waiting for that. We're waiting for that shit.
I want to Elon Musk relatives.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Afrikaners.
Talk about I'm an African.
Mhm.
Afro beats. You better what?
He gonna do a freestyle over I'm African.
Oh no.
And we'll make millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Know this.
Oh
know
my
this. That is the way.
God.
Someone's in the lab now. Someone's in the lab now.
Oh my God.
And these days it's like black folks. Black folks who are like feel like, you know what, we're gonna take advantage of this ourselves and produce.
Right.
it.
It'll be a Dre or a Diddy looking for them, saying, let me promote.
Not Diddy.
you.
Not Diddy.
A Diddy type.
Oh, okay. I say Diddy's gonna be
Not,
locked up.
no, he's done, but it's that type.
I'm
Yes.
not convinced. Like, wait a minute. Let's not count out chickens before they hatch. He's still a rich man. I know he's black, but he's still a rich man in America. He's got a shot.
You guys that's true. No, that's true.
Hey,
that's true too. That is
Right.
true.
It may be a Steph Curry, range 3-pointer at the buzzer, but he got a shot.
He got a shot. He does.
He might. Oh my God.
That's
Speaking
true.
of taking shots, today is Thursday, December 5th. It's the Remix Morning Show on Black Liberation Media. It's the Mellows here with you all. Shout out to Yipper 99 for that. I was asking my audience on Tuesday. I said the Bruvs hosted by themselves on Tuesday. It was Kamal, Jared, and Ear Doctor. I said, surely that is a trio of R&B singers that we can we can figure out a name for them. I said 3T, but nobody knows who 3T is, and that's okay. But Yipper 99 suggested y'all R&B group name should be the Mellows, and I laughed for about 5 minutes straight.
I rock with that. I'm down
I
with
like the
that.
Mellows.
And we could put out a track that would do better than Teddy Swim's bullshit.
Tell him. Get him.
Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Michael Jackson's nephews. That's messed up. That's messed up.
You know,
That's
I
messed
think they
up.
Tito Sons. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
messed
Tito
up.
Sons.
Tito
Maybe that's the Tito Sons is the name of it.
That's messed up. The High Mellows. Black Wookie, the High Mellows. I'm not mad at that. The Mellow Yellows.
Someone said light roast. Light roast.
Light roast. Oh my God. These are
I'm telling you, chat undefeated.
undefeated or tricolors.
Tricolors.
Yes, I'm gonna say that too. The tricolor stock. The way I said, yes, name that R&B group. Who are these niggas? Name them. The Mellows.
I tell you what, though, I'm not fucking with the chat anymore. You all are undefeated.
My man said
I can't
hint of
mess with them.
tint.
The hint of tint. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
The highlights. That works. You got the shy lights, the highlights.
I'm not coming on no more. I'm stopping.
Yes.
now. I'm not coming on
Yes.
no more.
Look at all
Golden
the comedians
time
in
of
the
day.
chat. Golden time of day. Yo.
The butter biscuits. So there were a group of mostly AKAs in undergrad that used to refer to me as Butter. They would see me walking through campus and be like, Butter. You know. But you know what they always say, though. You know what they say about the people who make the most fun about you, make the most fun of you, right? You know what they say. So I was like, all right, yeah, butter, baby. Here I am. Smooth like butter, baby.
Hey, Kamal, could you remind them about Giving Thursday?
Nigga,
Yo,
Giving
give it
Thursday.
right before we get into the news. This is
Day
Giving
beige.
Thursday.
My bad, that
Debate,
was funny.
debate.
The beige.
Oh my God.
The beige.
All
That's
of
funny.
you who were savvy enough to come up with light skin.
All right, wait a goddamn minute. Y'all ain't gonna keep joking. The beige, that was good though.
That was
That
good.
was
debate.
good.
Come on now.
All of these, every single one named has been amazing. Okay, every single name.
Mayonnaise monsters. God damn.
No, that's not good. I don't like that one. But maybe, what if we was Maze, M-A-I-Z-E? What if y'all was Maze featuring Jared Hall?
Jared Ball and Mays, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sun chips. God
New
damn.
Orleans. Yes. Yeah.
That's funny.
The sun chips. All right, chat. That's enough.
Bell Biv de beige.
That's enough. That's enough. Because we're gonna have to drop the link soon because we got many comedians in joining us this morning in the chat. We may have to drop the link because y'all niggas got jokes. I love it.
Bell Biv de beige.
All right, Latif, you got that one off right there, man. I gotta give it to you.
Oh,
I gotta
my
give it to you.
goodness.
That one. That was a good
Hell
one.
yeah.
Motherfucker.
Somebody got to do some t-shirts for us though. Like let's get some merch out of this.
Oh shit.
These are too good. Somebody save the chat.
That was good.
Oh
Bell
my
Biv
God, that was hilarious. That was good. I like that shit. I like that shit. And then we can have a whole song list and shit.
I
Now
thought
you
it
know.
was me.
That is hilarious. Shame on all of you. I'm not playing the dozens with nobody around here.
I know.
It's all L's. All L's.
L's.
We are
Exactly.
all losing to the chat.
Oh,
Chat.
oh my
Y'all
God.
good. Time out. All right, y'all. Time out. Time out. Y'all play too much. Time out. Time out.
Oh, the skylights. Is
Oh my
this
God.
gonna be the whole fucking show?
Wu-Tang. Oh.
Wow. Not the Wu-Tang Clan. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wu-Tang. 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 It's like that's terrible. Terrible.
Oh fuck.
All right, I'm leaving the
All
chat.
right, I'm not coming on no more. I can't even do the I can't even do the money shit. Y'all owe us money now.
I know, really, for real. For real. After all of that abuse,
After all that word, y'all gotta pay. Y'all gotta pay to make fun of me. What the fuck?
all the links in the chat, Patreon, blackliberationmedia.org.
Yeah.
You gotta support the morning show. Who's morning show hosts to take this much abuse
I know.
And laugh about it. You know
and
what I'm
laugh
saying?
about it and find it actually, I'm here for a good joke, even at my expense. Like I'm here. The humor the humor is
All right, that was funny, y'all. That was real funny.
That's the
All
thing
right.
about jokes and comedy.
Just
Like,
laughed and I've
it
turned.
could be
yeah.
fucked up. It could be a fucked up. Is the shit funny? Is really all it boils down to. Like,
That's always been my thing. That's why I'm not good for this era because I I'm like,
Exactly.
I am not good for this era because I'm like, oh, that shit was funny though. It was
All right,
fucked
now
up, but it was
for
funny.
real though. All right, run
for it.
Andy up. It's Giving Thursday, and listen, you looking at something you want to do a tax write off at the end of the year, and you like say, let me go ahead and throw some money towards these people right here. Bam, there it is. You ain't got to worry about it, and that way you can contribute to the revolution right here on blkliberationmedia.org.
Are we a tax write-off, a write-offable entity?
Not really, no.
Okay, so what he talking about?
He just made it up.
Oh, he just made
That's
it
fine.
up.
I would make it up too. In fact, just to go further than that,
Shit.
if you don't ever want to pay taxes again, if y'all give us money, we'll tell you how to do that. So you know what I mean? So don't you worry about Uncle Sam, don't you worry about IRS. Just give us all your money, and that frees you of your ability or having to pay taxes because now you ain't got no more money. So now you just got to give it all to the Black Liberation Media, and we will invest that money for you. And you won't see no returns, but you will have the gratitude of knowing that money has been carefully invested for other things which you need not ask any questions about. So yeah, just just chew on that for a second. No, I was never disbarred.
Who could
Oh,
deny
God.
that?
Talking like that, I'm surprised.
No, but really, if y'all can, we did miss Giving Tuesday or whatever Tuesday they like to call it. But if y'all got some extra resources, it's really helpful to keep the platform going, to keep the program going. I dropped it in the chat. Patreon has been doing fantastic, and I think a large reason is on the screen. Jared has done a lot of great work. Other folks have contributed too, but Jared has done a lot of great work to give a lot of great content on Patreon. And that's really going up. And again, as y'all know, we are deplatformed as far as monetary resources. We cannot do any fundraising on YouTube. They took that away from us, thinking they were taking away our livelihood, our ability to bring this information to you, our ability to expand. But we gonna make sure that don't happen, and we can only make sure that don't happen with y'all. So y'all need to support as you can.
Now
Too
y'all
quick.
could get some news.
No, I'm sorry. Too quick. One, just to give proper credit, it's really been in terms of Patreon. Saturday's crew, Renee, Geechee, Mtume's been joining us a lot. He just put me onto a new book, Revolution in 35 millimeter. So there's gonna be more discussions about revolutionary film throughout the anti-colonial world. So salute to all of them and more to come. And thanks all the supporters who do what they can to support through Patreon. And the second thing was forgot it. So I just forgot it. So
It'll come back to you.
let's hope
But
so.
let's go ahead and get started with some news. Shout out
Yo.
to Sister Erica. I'm pretty sure she laced us.
Future
And
Dr.
surely
Brown.
we have got to talk about the outright assassination of a healthcare CEO in New York City, right there, Midtown Manhattan. And the shooter still remains on the lam. He is still on the loose. I watched the press conference of, the NYPD officials, and when the guy, the chief of D's, the chief of detectives gave the description for the alleged shooter, he described him as light skinned, but then come to find out he was a white. Or he looked like a white, and I said, "Oh, a light-skinned white, got it." But it makes sense why this person has been able to evade police because he's got the greatest disguise ever. White.
I saw the video. Did y'all see the actual video? I know we should not play it here.
Oh, we should not? Okay, so I'll stop.
That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough.
Well, hold on. This is not like a police brutality type of thing that we are traumatizing our people with. I mean, I don't know this man, and I'm sorry to this man, but this man is a CEO. I don't lament.
I just mean I
don't think this audience is going to be traumatized by seeing what happened to this person. Let's put it that way.
I don't know. One, it is an assassination, right? So, and again, I'm not saying, but the technique in which this person seems to have got away involved obviously being masked up, used the proper coloring, whatever we're showing. Then he rode a bicycle. and has up until this moment escaped capture from the NYPD. So whatever planning this person did, they've hopped on a bike, they've moved to maybe, you know, switch areas and stuff like that, which, you know, as opposed to a car, it's interesting that they say light skinned as opposed to like what this person obviously looks like in that mask. But yeah, so as far as of a car with license plates and tracking, you know, this person ditched the bike someplace and apparently got away.
So let's talk about the white privilege that's all in this. Well, I want to get back to the CEO here in a second, but the fact that this person, this alleged shooter, has been able to evade police capture. I was thinking if he was an actual non-white person, by the time he reached Central Park, they'd have shut down every entrance, exit at Central Park and been stopping and frisking every black and brown man in the vicinity. However, NYPD knows they wasn't about to be stopping and frisking no white men who happen to be jogging through Central Park at 7 a.m. Y'all know y'all wasn't gonna do that. And also the fact that this man not caught, but let him have jumped the turnstile, they'd have been on his ass in 3 minutes flat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No. You go.
Well, I did read a couple of the news stories and whatever, and Brian Thompson was the CEO of the largest, as it showed there, private health insurer in the country. He was making almost $10 million a year. And that the attack seemed to be targeting him. You even see on the video, the guy is clearly not, he's letting other people walk by and run away. He's not, and then he had a plan apparently to go down a particular alley, to get on a bike, to get to the park. And the most telling thing to me in watching the video was that he quickly overcame a gun jam. So,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you see him, he shoots, and then there's some sort of issue. So you see him, you know, clear the jam and keep it moving. And so I was like, this is not somebody, this is not some novice, this is not some scared kid. This is somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. And then the only suggested motive, of course, was that United Healthcare, per usual, is known to reject a lot of claims. I think I saw somewhere like 80%, over 80% of claims, or something like that. I'd have to double check that, but they're known for that, and that this might be somebody who was disgruntled in that kind of way. So yeah, when people are saying it was a hit, I mean, it just did not look at all random, and it did not look at all unprepared or some
well planned, well thought out, well executed to be, you know, in that way.
And then Robin C is saying that they also heard 82% of claims are rejected.
Yeah. Did you guys also hear? And I was not able to confirm this, but the shareholders meeting continued in spite of the CEO.
Oh, it did.
Oh, I'm not surprised. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Confirm that for me. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but that is what I heard on social media, that the meeting continued.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. If for no other reason, they would want to start figuring, what is this going to do to the stock price? That I mean, I'm sure that I mean, I know I have no fact. I know though that was immediately what those in the room were thinking about. I don't give a damn about this dude, or at least not as much as what is this going to do to
the stock price.
You know,
we can always get another figurehead.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you know what I mean? You know, so
and this guy was relatively young, 50 years old. I said, what kind of a dirtball must he have been to achieve the CEO title by 50, right? And I don't know how long he's been the CEO. Maybe he's been the CEO prior to turning 50 years old. And I also wonder, is 10 million, is that his base salary? Like, what does he get with bonuses and all that? I'm sure this man is sitting on many, many piles of money.
Yeah, it said like 9 point something was his salary. True. It doesn't say what his compensation and whatever the hell else he's got. You know, it didn't say his worth. I didn't see his worth. So he may be worth a lot more, because who knows what he's invested in or whatnot. So they said on his home was valued on Zillow as $1 million.
Oh, that's cheap.
in Minnesota though, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. Not in New York. It was
Oh.
like, in somewhere where that might the house they picked. I mean, the
Spot.
house to me, I was like, dang, when I see, I'm like, But again, I don't get jealous.
But see, that's just
I
one
get
of the houses,
angry.
though, Jared. You got to see.
No, you're
what's
right. Yeah,
the
you're right.
second, the vacation. What's
Yeah.
one of the vacation, one of the many vacation homes. I assume this person.
Wait a minute.
Again,
So,
we are speculating about motive. We don't know motive yet. Nothing has
No.
been said to us, whatever like that. But there's
Listen.
a lot of folks making possibly valid suggestions as to why, like what, unless something's coming out in this person's private life that we don't know about. This again was a well executed, targeted. Seemingly, they knew exactly what entrance this person would be coming into. So so this is somebody who's practiced this, which could be the only other way in which they, in my opinion, thinking about how this person gets caught, is if they have any sort of prior videotape of somebody coming by frequently or standing there or looking like they can kind of sort of plan something out or whatever. So that may be something that they try to see about how they track somebody like this down. But I still think it is amazing that after the 2 days, day and a half, an open assassination attempt on a rich white man, and that person has not been caught at this particular stage. So
Kim,
I don't think they're gonna get him. What's
Kim,
up,
when you said that they kept the meeting going, you know what I thought about?
What's that?
Hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be all right, nigga. You tough, right?
that was probably part of the thinking. He's like, we'll be all right. The company's gonna be all right. It's
That's what the CFO came in the meeting to say. Hey, listen,
Just like that. That's exactly what he said. Niggas get shot every day.
Where's that stock price going? Exactly.
Yo, can we acknowledge the determination of the white men this year? Because you got this guy letting the chopper sing on the CEO. Then we've had 2 assassination attempts on Trump. The one nigga at the golf course. This nigga was at the golf course all night waiting for Trump to come to that 9th hole. And but for a plucky, Secret Service being on his job that day, as opposed to the day in Butler, Pennsylvania, when the white boy, that fucking 19, 20-year-old, let the chopper sing on Trump. Look at the whites. The whites is, showing the people some things. Let's just put it that way.
I know it's a time for assassinations again. Apparently, in this country. It's like
every time
in the 60s.
Every time they do a threat assessment of the country, it's whites that are at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
In the movies, it's always the Arabs and the Chinese. Now, speaking of which, I just watched several of silly shows, including this Lioness series, and it's the same thing from Tulsa King to Lioness. It's at the end of the day, it's the Chinese. Who's causing the border problems in the South? The Chinese. Who's running drugs into the Chinese, and they're using the Arabs and the Mexicans, and they're like, and if it's not, I'm like, damn,
they're the new enemy. They're the new enemy.
Even on this last one, it was like, nah, even Putin wouldn't pull this off. This is China. I was like, what? So yeah. So even the Mexican cartels don't have autonomy and sovereignty in this new media landscape. Everybody's subservient to the Chinese.
And it's so interesting, even from like the media studies standpoint or something like that, as to how that gets generated, right? How do we move from who is the appropriate enemy for the population to be mad at or have all of a sudden anger, which is ginned up, and then you have the TV shows. It becomes the way news reports are given. Obviously, it's the politicians are given the lead on how to carry this out. But then after that, it all starts to become this thing around how new enemies get formed and how to get put into the culture, the CIA. So all of this stuff is mad. And again, this is not new, but now we're reaching this boiling point. And with Trump's reelection, people know that it's going to be front and center. Not again, Biden was doing stuff also, but because of the rhetoric that Trump uses, front and center will be the Chinese, will be the new enemy of America. And that's going to be, but again, China is not a small nation. China is not Iran. Iran is not a small nation either. Don't get me wrong, but China is a highly technologically advanced. Again, according to some of the hugest economy in the world at this stage, the largest standing army in the world at this stage. So there might be a lot of anti-Chinese sentiment, but it's going to be a coldish type of war because no one is invading China or whatever like that. They're going to try to do things to its economy, but because the way the Chinese economy is structured in terms of the power of its manufacturing, even that's going to be a battle.
But are they doing anything to rein in these murderous white men?
Never that.
Like, I mean, because like we're looking at like these are very clear attacks on power. The 2 assassination attempts on Trump, and now this assassination of a very moneyed CEO. Like it, you know, when the white boy shot at Trump in Pennsylvania, I was waiting, even though I knew it wasn't coming. But we got to do something about these young men that are so engrossed in the video. Like I didn't hear any of that shit. I said, let there have been a Mexican at the other end of that rifle. Let there have been a Muslim. Let that have been an Asian, because Trump thinks all Asians is Chinese. Let there have been any kind of Asian on the end of that fucking rifle. There would have been a Muslim ban 2.0 in place on Trump's first day back in office. But because it's the whites, and in particular white men, exerting this kind of violence, where is the rhetoric? When are we gonna stop and frisking these white men? Because obviously they're dangerous.
It's the one time when law enforcement works the way maybe it's supposed to work, where they don't single out groups. They're meticulously looking for that one white man, that one who, I mean, there may be more than one, but they're looking for that one white man they can pin it on or say who did it or who the evidence shows that did it. But you're right, there's no total. They're not going to white neighborhoods, searching patting everybody down, knocking on doors, taking people out their homes. They're not going to like white schools or white colleges looking for the, everybody got to talk, line them up against the wall.
See, that's why I think the guy going into Central Park was so fucking brilliant, right? Because all the moneyed whites, like that's the money part of town, right? Niggas that live around Central Park. So the whites come there to exercise and jog and bike and shit. Good luck stopping and frisking all them white men of some means in Central Park, 7 a.m. NYPD, and they didn't.
Not at all. Not at all.
I thought something similar. That was not only a good idea, but you get to the park, you drop the bike, take off your jacket and your mask, and start jogging. You're gonna look like whoever. And there was no robbery. He didn't have to carry anything, So it would have been. And then to your point, zero chance there's going to be some citywide white male
drag.
Isn't it so like it's like funny on his face? Like I can't even imagine the scenario. Yeah, it's like it's so wild. Like I can't even really, like, I half jokingly say going into white neighborhoods, even saying that shit sounds hilarious. But the opposite is so part of our life, right? It's like the moment if a black person was accused, as we've had several times, of killing some white person, whole neighborhoods are fucking surrounded.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we take it as normal, but it's unfathomable to think that they're going into any white communities or neighborhoods surrounding the whites, like you said, cordoning off the park, not letting any white people out until they've done a thorough search of all those white people, which is not like,
all at the trains and shit.
What? Which they actually could do.
Yes.
They could surround that bitch and take and make anybody who leaves has to get searched, or what. They could actually literally do that. They have the biggest police force in the world, over 30,000 NYPD officers, for an assassination of a CEO on a brazen assassination, daylight on the street. They could have easily have done that, but they did not.
Could you imagine? And then it would look like I could imagine scenes in New York looking like Biggie's funeral, with all these black and brown people gathered on the side of the streets to watch all these white men just getting drag netted throughout the city. It is like black people just out on the court, just everywhere with
look at this shit.
Look at this shit. Exactly. Like free pass. We could go anywhere unaccosted today. Because it's like,
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
that would
something.
be
Pointing out, it's like you missed that white. There's a white right there. You didn't search
Right.
that one. Get that one. Get that one.
He
What
fit
about
the
that one?
description. Get him.
What he fit the description word.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But
what's
this
the
guy,
he's white.
this guy is about to be, who is my, not my nigga, but the whites that have never been caught. Who was the guy? DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
What are some of the other infamous whites never been caught? Who was the nigga out in San Francisco shooting
The
people?
two. Oh, I don't.
Zodiac.
Zodiac.
I ain't
No,
never
they caught
that.
him. They did. Well, they did catch him, and he not. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was the other
The
West
Golden
Coast
State killer rapist. They
was a
caught him.
cop.
Who was the cop? Correct. Zodiac's never been caught.
You're right. You're right. That's right.
So
Ooh,
so I think this
ooh.
guy is going to get added to the legendary list of whites who have
And
accomplished.
you know who else is on that
major
list?
crimes. Who?
The two white men that did escape from Alcatraz. They never got caught.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They never got caught, and the police hoped that they drowned, but there was never any evidence of that. And according to a new documentary I just watched, quite the opposite. There's
They
a
went to
lot of evidence
Brazil,
that they
right?
made it to Brazil.
They made it to Brazil.
Yeah.
They never catching this white because my guy was on the Amtrak. He was at Penn Station by 8:00. Okay, he already.
It's way early. It's way early. You know, it's way early.
Come on.
You never know, like, if they find, like, again, if he went to Central Park, if he dumped a gun, like, you know.
They said he dropped a phone.
Mm.
They did say that he dropped a phone.
On purpose, though, right? Or accident?
I'm
Like, he was
assuming on
throwing it away.
purpose. I can't imagine you're going to do all of this and be that.
Yeah.
Reckless
So he had a
get
burner?
caught in that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think somebody said they were maybe pulling surveillance tape from a Starbucks. I said my guy did not
Yeah,
do
he was
all
in
this
the Starbucks,
planning just to drop his fucking debit card, not to swipe his debit card at the goddamn Starbucks. My nigga, that's not how we do.
Yeah, because they have a picture of him in there all hooded and masked up. It would be crazy if he
If he used a debit
was
card.
like, I need my points. I need my points. Eric Smith. I need my points for my latte.
No.
Yeah.
No, Eric, you didn't do that.
Even the fact the white man can go in there hooded up and no one said shit to him. No one said shit to
No.
him.
What? Wow.
No. But
No one was scared. No one was nervous. Like, oh, just a white man in a hood. Here you go.
white
What do you
man in
want?
a
Like,
hood. Here's
No,
your latte.
One of the things I find interesting about the reporting surrounding this assassination is what I perceive to be the coded language being kicked out to the other CEOs. And CEO Brian Thompson, amazingly did not have any security with him. And I'm like, oh, so
Right.
you making sure that so now all the CEOs know it's time to step up your
Yeah.
security detail. This man was out here all willy-nilly, no security, CEOs. It's time for y'all to step y'all security detail up.
I mean, if you know you're out, well, I don't know. If you know that you're out here denying claims and doing all that kind of
The
You think you're untouchable. You're I mean, apparently he's not a billionaire, but you're a multi-millionaire. He's amongst the poor whites, actually. Only $1 million house and the CEO only making $10 million a year.
yeah,
He's looked down upon in his community of, like, rich whites.
that's
probably
why
the
them
easy part.
stockholders.
Yeah, that's what
like,
they're-
next man up.
Next man up. Wow.
You know.
Wow.
You know,
Speaking of
one
next man up,
yeah, you know what I'm
Nigga-
saying?
bam.
Niggas be all right. You gonna be all right. Shit.
Who's gonna
Wow.
be all right?
Huh? Nah, they
Who
was telling that y'all gonna be all right after dude got shot. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
it's
I'm
like
just
niggas
saying
die every day, B. You gonna be all right.
the symbolism of it cannot be ignored.
No, it's crazy to think that you 6 o'clock in the morning downtown Manhattan, you walking outside and bop bop bop, and dude, I mean, again, he wasn't playing around. There was no shot him in the back. Started off shooting him in the back. None of this calling your name and doing all like grandstanding and all of that. No, he was like bop bop bop, and then
And the
fix
precision
that
to make
jam and
sure
bop bop bop. Yeah.
nobody else got hurt again.
No,
In fact, when did the video show? Like a woman walking right by, and
there was like a door, like somebody was coming out the door with him or something, and it was clear you are not the target. But that
I think he tried to throw him off the trail by using that probably somebody's debit card and a phone for somebody else, and then he was like, "Oh, we'll start looking."
It's gonna be
for
like
this other
Rob
person.
Bat. It's gonna be like Jared Ball was in the start. Hold
know
up.
what I'm
That's
saying?
why they
Light
start off with
skin.
light skin. Hold
You know
up,
what I'm
son.
saying?
Light
Niggas
skin
ain't
is too
slick.
vague, dude.
Ain't
Way
slick.
too say when you're looking for a white, you're looking for a whole ass white man. No, he was a light skinned. No, he was a white.
He was a white. Don't
He
put
was
this
a
on
white.
me, motherfucker. That's like
That's why we got
Jared's
to grow our
staying home
beards and
today.
mustache.
Hey, Jared's home today. You know exactly where I was. Like,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
we
I was
got an
coming off
alibi.
that 6 a.m.
Remix morning show or something.
Hey, it was oats and blueberries, my guy. Oats and blueberries, a cup of coffee. No, yeah. But I definitely would not be going outside of New York if I lived up there today. I mean, I stay. Where's Jared? In the house with like 3 or 4 other people, witnesses.
Yo, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick mental health break, and we're gonna come right back with some more. Like I said, I was just reading about that South Korean president and him talking about the whole martial law thing, and that shit lasted for like 6
I thought that was
hours.
the good side, the capitalist side. I thought everything was gravy in South Korea. What happened? What happened?
Let's talk about it right after this break, right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Remix on the remix. Let's get it.
Some people talk about you like they know all about you. When you get down, they doubt you. And when you dip it on the scene, yeah, they talking about it. Cause they can't tip on the scene, but you talk about it. To keep it talking about it. When you get elevated, they love it or they hate it. You dance up on them haters, keep getting funky on the scene. While they jumping around you, they trying to take all of your dreams, but you can't allow it. Cause baby, whether you're high or low, or whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Tip on the tightrope. Baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Now let me see you do the tightrope.
All right, let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to 1966 with the Capitals. Name of the album was Dance the Cool Jerk. And the name of that song is Cool Jerk. Mixed with a little bit of 2010. We talking about Janelle Monáe, feature artist Big Boy from Outkast off her album Arch Android. And the name of that song is Tightrope. So yo, remix on the remix. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And as we said before, show your love today, blkliberationmedia.org. Go there to donate. All right, with that said, let's get right back to it with our Remix Morning crew. Now we do. Let's get it.
Not everybody, I want to hear you all. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it?
What is her name again? Janelle
Janelle Monáe.
I feel like I missed out, like I never listened to her music. Did I miss out on anything here?
Oh, what? First of all, that's one of my favorite albums. Like the Arc Android. It's such a good album. It's like it's a concept album. It's based on chat. Smart me up real quick. What is it? It's based on like a 1930s, futuristic but she blackened it up. And it's so good. It's one of my favorite albums, the Arc Android. It's you should check it out. Come out. It's a very good album.
Okay.
And
You said who is? I'm like who is Janelle Monáe? Kamau? What?
I know who she is, but I mean, I've never listened
talking about
to
a baddie,
a song of like I've never like oh that's it. Like if you put a Janelle Monáe song on,
I might be with you on that.
Yeah.
I've never,
but I knew I knew that was Janelle Monáe on the mix. I wouldn't have known the song or the album, but I did think to ask you all: is there anybody currently more multi-talented than she is? Because I think she can legit act. She can sing. She's been in some things, commercial wise, political wise, that I'm not thrilled with per se, but I don't have any,
Her
but in
and
terms
Jamie
of her,
Foxx.
Say that again.
Her and Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx could do all that
keep
too.
bringing up Jamie Foxx
Because the fact you're talking about sing, act, comedy, a bunch of things.
What's her comedy? What's her stand-up?
I didn't say her stand-up.
just in terms of multiple talent.
Multiple talent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. As in, yes, you have to agree with that. They are both multi-talented.
I'm not disagreeing with the multi-talented. I just think being a comedian, and especially a stand-up one, is a whole nother dimension of talent and ability, as opposed to being an actor and reciting, lines, or even being a performer on stage. Like what Jamie Foxx does as a comedian is something else.
And Ray, as an actor, yes, he's done it all too.
Mimic.
Yeah, we can't.
Maybe another role of Jamie Foxx that was spectacular besides Ray.
What's the name? The football movie, Every Given Sunday.
And then what was the one? The Citizen. What's it called?
A Good Citizen. I actually like that movie. It's not A Good Citizen?
It's not as good citizen. It's something citizen, the law-abiding citizen. That's what
law-abiding citizen.
What does he do
like
there? What is
He's a prosecutor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good movie.
But I also liked him in that movie with Tom Cruise as the hitman, where
I
he's
did
gonna
like
drive,
that movie
drive him around all the whatever movie that was.
No, Jamie's got the goods on the acting.
I'm not convinced.
Really?
Anyway,
I wouldn't know his
I mean,
song,
one, I
though.
never found his comedy hilarious. I never thought he was like a hilarious comedian.
Watch.
I thought he did some funny sketches. I thought he was funny in sketch mode.
Watch the comedy one when he sits down in front of the piano and does his whole comedy act. You'll be like, yo, that shit.
What was the one he was talking about? This is old. He was like, yeah, I was on In Living Color, and this one, and J-Lo was on it, and J-Lo came up to me and she was like, I don't like how you talk about me, Jamie, and he was like, well, all we used to call you was hey ho.
Actually, he got a new Netflix comedy special he's about to drop in a minute too.
Hey ho.
Hey ho.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm usually not here for the degradation of women, but I'm saying that I had to laugh.
But that one was particularly funny. See?
Now you remember earlier we was talking about how we would make music and try to trick the crowd. Now look at this Cool Jerk album. This Cool Jerk album right here is showing a bunch of white people dancing, and you don't see one black person dancing on the album cover, so they can sell it.
That's what it was. If I'm not mistaken, Ike and Tina Turner's first record. There's so many black artists that this applies to, but their faces were not on the covers of the records. You know what I mean? If their face appeared on the front or the back at all, right? And it's not like the white didn't know they was black, but.
They was like,
now this is a very true statement because Kevin just isn't funny. That's like
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Kevin Hart, laugh at my pain. I will have to I saw that live. I saw that at Constitution Hall. That nigga had me crying. That shit was hilarious.
Hollywood, man.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I take it back. On that one.
Except for Robin Thicke's involvement in that, it was great.
Man, when that nigga turned into Incredible Hulk, that shit was funny.
I didn't say it wasn't funny. Again, I'm not denying the talent or the funniness or whatever. I'm not denying that. I'm saying it's on GP.
It's just
because Hollywood
against
Husband was funny.
Yeah.
Man, they cut that show off.
But what I liked about it was that they would make fun of real life stuff, like him losing what's her name and who was his love interest, Robin Thicke, that he lost.
Paula Patton, his wife.
His wife.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So they would make fun of that on the series. They make fun of people's careers not doing well and shit in real life. I mean, the shit is funny. I really thought they did a good job with that.
Especially Tisa Martin's husband. So that nigga, every movie he is a basketball.
And was the early Kevin Hart? Was it the one you mentioned where the one routine that did make me laugh out loud because I was living it. Was when he was talking about how his little kids would be out with him and messing up, and then he had that line where our family was not. We're not looking successful right now. And that used to make me laugh because I remember many moments out in the world where it was just me with my girls, and it's like I'm failing right now. This is not. They're all over the place. Together. Yeah, I'm not looking like. I look like I need help right now. It's like the kids upside down over there. This one's got something to
That's right, Paper Soldiers. That was that joint. Paper
Soldiers is a classic. I love Paper Soldiers.
Is that first one, or is that a later one?
So that was one of them Rockefeller films, starring Kevin Hart and Beanie Siegel. Wow, which is hilarious. Then
Beanie Siegel,
and then Beanie Siegel in the joint. Stacey Dash is in the joint. Dame is in the joint.
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones is in the joint. Yo, that is one of the funniest It is such a funny movie.
Jay-Z's in it.
Oh, Jay-Z is in it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Paper
funny.
Soldiers. I have that on DVD.
Before
How old
Stacey.
is that? How old is that?
It must be old because
Oh,
Stacey
yeah.
Dash was still associated
And
with
she was still
black
black.
Yeah,
She's
she
still
was
associated with the
black.
people. Yeah.
Come on, you know her cousin was gonna, give her a little something to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Who's her
All right,
cousin?
well,
Dame.
Dame.
Oh wow, I never even put that together.
Stacey
I never knew
Dash,
that.
Dame Dash.
Never.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me get out of here.
That's been going over your head all these years, Jerry.
all these years, as was the beef between Rakim and Big Daddy Kane that
Really?
apparently was going on for
Oh,
For
I don't think
a
I knew
whole-
that either. I always thought it was LL versus.
I
Big Daddy
just found
Kane.
this out like 5 years ago that those two were beefing on like every time you heard a diss in the 80s from Rakim, that some vague it was at Big Daddy and vice versa. I was like, I never even knew.
Oh, I didn't know
So-
that either.
So
Oh
yeah.
wow.
I would
Oh.
say Rakim had to win that. So.
I don't know. Smooth
Oh,
rappers send it to me. They want to get some, but I'm the Kane. So
Yeah.
you know the outcome.
People constantly still to this
beats.
day put Rakim as like the greatest rapper of all time or top 5. Who
They
does that?
do.
Big Daddy.
A few, maybe even including me on a given day. He was for me, but that might just be me. Big Daddy was one of my quintessential. Here we go.
If we got to break it down in John, we got to break
Hold
it down
up.
in,
This is
in
wait,
decades.
Jig,
Oh,
Jig-
blasphemy.
Rakim overrated. Now
Come
you're
on.
talking.
How do
crazy.
we block Jen?
I know somebody. Time out.
Yeah, time out.
How
Time
do
out,
we
time.
block Jen?
Overrated. God
Overrated?
damn, you must be
Rakim is
15 years old.
overrated?
You must be
He
15.
changed. See, they don't understand influence. He changed the flow in hip hop when everybody was doing
Absolutely.
the Curtis Blow.
He almost gave flow to hip hop. I mean, LL will say he did it.
Hmm.
But Rakim,
Kim, did you see LL's statement the other day
What'd he say?
that he's basically the best? Well, he said he's the best ever, and he set the trend for everything from love songs to jewelry to acting to
Def Jam. He started
Def Jam. He started
basically.
Def Jam.
He gave himself credit for every major.
And then
movement.
Jiggin is saying LL is the logo
He should be.
and Rakim is not top 5.
Yeah,
Jiggin is tripping.
LL is the logo for what?
Well,
hip-hop.
hold on. I mean, I need
The gold
Overrated
chain
rappers?
sweatsuit, the Kango.
I need
the
y'all
box.
to find the lie. Find the lie and what he said. Where's the lie? Now
It
he's
ain't-
supposed
That's
to
worth
say
playing
he's
again.
great.
Play it again. That's worth playing again.
No,
You don't think so? Oh, that was worth playing again.
Where-
you
I
had
don't
to
know
be
where
here,
it-
Kim. You had to
LL's
be
supposed
here.
to say all those things. LL's supposed to say all them things because that's what
Yes.
rap is. You supposed to. You are the. He created GOAT. That is the
He
most
claimed that too.
bastardized
Yep.
acronym ever, and he created it. He did create that. So I mean, that's what LL's supposed to say. But I challenge you all to find the lie. Where is he lying?
And if you talk about the 80s, the top 5, you got to go by the 80s and then the 90s. Top 5 in the 80s was KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, LL Cool J, and maybe Chuck D.
No, Chuck D is not a top 5 rapper.
Okay.
I love Chuck D.
We'll say Run DMC. We'll put
Yeah,
them
you'd have to
together.
put Run DMC.
Yeah,
in
Run
there.
DMC for the
Yeah.
80s. But yeah.
I'm not mad at that. The lie, there is no lie, Kim. It's just for me, it was just a preference that I don't think his that it was.
It is a lie. I found lies.
Where is the lie?
Tim,
Where's
Tim,
the lie?
Tim,
He is
you're right,
not
my
a
bad.
top. He is not. He is not the greatest rapper of all time.
But he's
I just never-
supposed to
As-
say that. You
But
know
he
what I'm
is
saying?
supposed to.
Oh, okay.
you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as Jared said, we're supposed to correct him
Yeah, we supposed to hate on that.
on the fallibility
Hate
of
on
his
that.
argument.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Yeah.
we disagree with LL.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not-
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
have-
yeah.
I take no offense at LL telling us that he's the greatest. He's supposed to say that.
And then I still
agree.
want to leave a little room for that. That at some point it can't just be blind praise for people who help usher in the commercialization, the crossover. I think at some point.
Did he? What LL
Who's
was
saying
so
that?
crossed over? Who?
No,
what, like,
no.
oh,
No,
sorry.
when he's saying like I ushered in the gold chain era and the stuff like I would look at that critically as one who used to like the medallion era or moment or whatever. So it's like if you're and you're ushering in playing SWAT in movies and cops on TV, like that. You want credit for that? Okay, take your credit, but I think it needs to be looked at critically. So that's all I meant by that.
No, and I think that's extremely fair because LL and Ice-T were among the first early. LL, Ice-T, Cube, and Latifah were the first acting rappers, right? And Ice-T's first role was as the cop in New Jack City. And I think LL's first role, aside from the break-in or what was the Crush Groove, aside from that, I think he was the security guard in one of the Friday the 13th movies, like one of like the,
the really?
11th, 12th version of that. Yeah.
But why are we taking credit for why? Like, I hate it when people take, like when Iverson takes credit or his publicist gives him I was the first one to wear cornrows. It's like, really? Like, what is this credit for? I wore Kangos first. I was like, what?
He brought hip hop to NBA in a major way.
To take credit for to me. It's like, I wore my hair like this. I was the first. It was like, really? Are we looking for just anything to be like, you know, I did this first. I was the first one to wear a strapless. I was like, what? What are we doing?
I mean, they had to change the uniform because how he was coming out there, man. It was like, listen, you gotta wear suits because he was coming with the chains and the medallions and everything. It was like, wait a minute, let's pump the brakes.
Oh, that's right. He said he was he was like the first. I don't like or hardcore rapper or some shit like that too. Like he said he was the first. Yeah.
I'm not Kobe. That part. I'm not mad. Right, right. Yeah, he did say that. I'm not mad at anybody getting older and wanting credit for some shit that they don't get credit for. Like, I feel that part. Like that part, I was like, keep talking. Like Ear Doctor was saying the other day, talk that shit. Get your credit. Because especially on the internet era, like the world is quick to bury you up under somebody else's work. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not mad at that at all. And he has been at a certain level for a long time. So I get it. But yeah.
You're right.
And I do disagree with LL in terms of the gold chains. I mean, he can say that, but when I think of the gold chains of that era, I think of Slick Rick. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Slick Rick is one that don't get enough top 5 mentions. You know what I'm saying?
Before Slick.
Not by much though, right?
No, I think he was. Because I was like 17, 18 years old when he hit me. He was big.
But didn't Run DMC have the chain too? Like, didn't everybody have?
But remember, he told us again that he was signed before Run DMC.
To Def first.
But Run DMC wasn't signed to Def Jam. Run DMC was signed to Priority.
Yeah.
Oops.
I thought it was Profile.
Or Profile, I'm sorry. But not Def Jam though. They were not on the Def Jam label.
But who did come out first? Now I can't remember.
LL.
Claim, LL said
LL came
before first in everything.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Rapper's Delight, actually was on Rapper's Delight before.
Oh wow!
LL's been a superstar for over 40 years.
Superstar?
He has.
Shout out to Minister Server.
A
superstar.
You gotta find the lie. Find the lie.
He's been famous for 40 years.
LL wasn't a superstar in New York in the 80s.
Was a superstar. Yes, he was in the 80s. By 2000s, nobody gave a fuck about LL.
Actually, I can't agree with
Big LA.
Nobody remembers. Oh, I'm so glad your brother mentioned this. Nobody remembers King Tim III as the first rap album or the first rap on wax ever.
I remember King Tim, but I don't. All right.
People will be giving rappers the credit, but I remember King Tim III first.
No, but the point with Rapper's Delight is that that's the point though. This is the crossover to being sold and marketed to whites. That's the point. It wasn't that rap didn't start. It started with them. It's that that's the point. It didn't. It got, commercialized with.
It wasn't a full, but you wouldn't say they were a full cross. It wasn't like the whites were embracing. Sugar
yes,
Hill.
They were.
No,
that was.
I don't know.
They were, and that's why she
because it was the disco beat that they already knew about.
They already knew, and then they marketed them to whites. That was the whole point.
Was it a successful marketing?
God.
Like, because I mean, hello, we are of the era. Well, yeah, but we're of the era when rap music wasn't played during the day. So I'm a little incredulous that in 1979 that the pop white station was playing Rapper's Delight. I mean, maybe they was. Y'all my uncles and aunties, y'all can tell me better. But
as an auntie and uncle, I do not remember Sugar Hill Gang being played on white radio in New York. I remember being played on black radio. It got ran all the time.
That's because you didn't listen to white radio.
Oh shit! Well,
take it from me.
Listen,
the first
station, Jared. Well, who in the DMV was running the
I actually don't remember. I actually don't. Maybe that would have been it. Q107. That's it. But the first time I heard it, I remember the moment I heard it. This white boy named Brian had the album in 1970, whatever. Right down here in East Columbia, you know, right as you walk one block down from the hood and find the whites with the houses, he had it. So, but there was a documentary, and then there's somewhere, I think it's even in Jeff Chang's book. I think there's like, I think the history is not, I don't think I'm not making this up, and I'm not like revealing. This isn't Jared's big reveal here. It was understood that she was marketing them to white audiences, including in the video for Rapper's Delight, that you had, you know, like the white dancers in there, and you had the disco thing. The attempt was to market it to them. So somehow they
didn't pull it off then, because it wasn't like they remained famous after that. They barely had as Ear Doc pointed out, they barely had one or two more hits.
One more.
Yeah,
hit.
but I don't remember. That's not for me the big crossover moment of. I understand what you're saying, but that's not for me the big crossover moment for hip hop when the whites began. To me, it's like what's the white boy with the crazy
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice becomes that seminal moment.
No, but it was even Run DMC with Aerosmith.
Well, the Beastie Boys. We could start even earlier.
Beastie Boys, Run DMC doing the Aerosmith song, putting the guitar in rock box. Like that was all done on purpose.
Yeah. But that's many years after Sugar Hill Gang.
A few, several.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not saying. I'm saying that opened the door. Like she was attempting to open the door to take something that was targeting black kids and brown kids and whatever, and saying I need some whites to get this.
Yeah, and somebody just brought up Blondie and Blondie shit. That's
the
true.
Rapture.
Woo! And let's not forget Tina Marie and Square Biz. Since we talk about rap.
It's R&B.
See, that came organic.
Well, no one thought she was. I mean, I know she rapped, but no one cared.
I just wanted to say that.
But I thought it was a seminal moment.
Well, I mean, I think it was a bit of a seminal because I think Tina dropped a hot 16 on Square.
She dropped that shit, yo. I was like, damn.
To a T.
Lady T.
100 pounds of fun and sophisticated funk. Ooh.
All right, I guess we need to really get back to news.
It was a great song, though. Great song.
Great song.
All right.
Thanks, Ear Doc.
I know Ear Doc wants to do the Korean story. I do have another. I on this Chinese war machine thing, or the Chinese is a new enemy. I did have a quick story on that. Yeah, mind or
no? Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, the trade wars, have never ended, but now they are reaching, they're reaching a point where China is fighting back in a way that's more public. And so that's why this story struck me, because it says China bans export of critical minerals to U.S. as trade tensions escalate. And again, this is after the U.S. Did a further restriction of Chinese companies' ability to get superconductors or semiconductors. So it says China on Tuesday banned exports to the United States of the critical minerals, I think gallium, germanium, and antimony. I'm not sure if I can have one up. They have widespread military applications, escalating trade tensions the day after Washington's latest quote-unquote crackdown on China's chip sector. The curb strengthened enforcement of existing limits of critical mineral exports that Beijing began rolling out last year, but apply only to the U.S. market in the latest escalation of trade tensions between the world's two biggest economies, ahead of President-elect Trump's taking office next month. Now, again, the Chinese government's response was not to something that Trump did. It was a response to an increased ban by Biden, the Democrat. A Chinese Commerce Ministry directive on dual-use items with both military and civilian applications, cited national security concerns. And this is a way of China doing the same thing to the U.S., what the U.S. does to China. The United States constantly says its limitations of semiconductors are because of their potential dual use, but but they're really meant to cripple Chinese technology companies from further expanding their reach around the world and taking the place of U.S. companies and European companies. It says the move has sparked fresh concern that Beijing could next target other critical minerals, including those with even broader usage, such as nickel or cobalt. And according to this, China has been signaling for some time that it is willing to take these steps. So when is the U.S. going to learn its lessons? Said a Todd Malin, which is trying to develop a nickel mine in Minnesota. So I just thought it was important because what happened the last time, or during the prior trade war, China was not overtly using, let's say, all of its tools in the toolbox to fight back. And it certainly wasn't using what we would consider these sort of critical minerals that China, in some portions, are leading the world in terms of the production of them by huge percentages. And so the question becomes, will this trade war, if it starts to continue to escalate, impact not only obviously the Chinese economy and the world economy, but the U.S. economy, which wasn't impacted as much as people because of the way China handled it when Trump was in office and he was attempting to stymie Chinese economic development. So yeah.
All I hear is this does not sound good for Latin American countries with mineral resources because if China stops sending the minerals to the U.S., then the U.S. is going to have to go coup somebody and steal their shit.
That is accurate. Yes, that is, like, I think in places in different African nations all around the world, they're looking for new deposits of these so-called important minerals because of China's, again, its manufacturing base that produces so much of this that they took for granted, the West took for granted that it would always have access to because of what China's role was previously as a server of Western economies. Now that is the thing, but they can't do it right away. So it'll take some time to build up the amount. And again, who knows that even in terms of this, things that we never talk too much about, or folks, but the environmentalists do, is even if it wasn't stopped, people don't talk about, even as talking about from switching from oil to some of these minerals or batteries, what is the impact still of the land masses in which all of this mineral wealth is being dug out of, what communities have to be moved or forced to move. All that stuff does not come out as sort of like the large public conversation on even the digging up of all these minerals and the impacts that have, like the fracking and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Why was Joe Biden in Africa last week? Did y'all talk about this already? And I'm not.
No, we have not talked about Joe Biden in Africa. Where Joe Biden actually fell asleep at a conference with Africa.
No, he didn't fall asleep. Did he really? Did he fall?
Yeah, there was a social media picture of him starting to doze off.
He was passing.
I mean, good.
After he obviously pardoned his son, he didn't make, yeah.
What is he going to contribute? Let him fall asleep.
Well, that part. But Joe Biden has, even before him being president, in all of his previous titles and roles, he has been sent around the world to do thuggery. So I can only assume he was going to try to thug it out. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in Africa. I just seen him over there. The goddamn trifling ass news they just said he was in Africa. They didn't even say what country.
Right.
It's like Shaft in Africa. Biden in Africa.
I said, what part? All of Africa? He saw the whole thing. Where was he? Calling foolery. But yeah, no. If you're due for a phone upgrade, you might want to go ahead and pull that trigger sooner rather than later, because the tariff is going to make all the things it is as expensive as they already are, right? Just think about them being 25% more expensive. It's going to be a shit show. And Mexico, you guys seen the shit that the Mexican president been talking, right?
I've seen some of it.
She was talking big shit. She was like, first of all, and then she said, second of all, but no, she was like, first of all of the violence in Mexico is because of y'all, the United States. We don't produce nor do we manufacture any guns or anything like that in our country. So the reason why you see violence is because of the consumerism of Americans. I think she was specifically even talking about drugs, right? But also on the other side, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada started crying immediately when Trump talked about these tariffs. Canada said the United States is their biggest trading partner. 40% of Canadian trade is with the US. And Trudeau went right down to Mar-a-Lago.
Exactly.
Like, please, sir. He came down to kiss the ring immediately. I said, this nigga's not even been inaugurated. He already on his knees. But
in fact, I just saw a story like in Mexico is how they just did a fentanyl arrest or fentanyl capture to show that they're actually now going after the fentanyl. Because again, that's something that Trump has talked about. So here I found a videotape where Fox News puts it as President Biden appears to rest his eyes. What kind of fucking headline is that? This nigga fell asleep.
Can we know where he was? Where was he?
Angola.
Oh, he's Angola. Okay.
Yeah.
But good. I mean, this is the best thing we could hope for his visit. Let him sleep through the whole thing and not try to contribute.
I guess all of his minions was in there paying attention though.
Yeah, it's not like I mean, whoever's making all the decisions and policies, then oh wow, that's knocked out. He slam asleep. That's the one time I had to sit on a jury. This is what the judge looked like during the trial. Not slam out. And while the prosecutor is talking to him, laying out their case, he's slam knocked out. And I remember asking my wife about that. She said, "Yeah, that happens. You just got to keep going."
Yeah, this videotape is going. This is not like this is not a picture. This is him. And he is right next to literally 3 or 4 African heads of states who are talking.
Yeah. Oh, he's slam knocked out. And they're in his ear like, Mr. President, please wake up. Mr. President, Mr. President, please wake up.
Hey, I know what happened.
There he goes.
He had some goat stew and some jollof, and this nigga caught the itis. He just dozed right at all. Y'all know how it go when you have some goat and some rice. You just go to sleep.
That jollof be nice though. Yeah.
But this is obviously an attempt for on his way out to again try to, in their estimation, reconnect to African countries because they think that African countries are being too influenced by China and Russia. And so and obviously this is low on the agenda because we're talking about a president who has less than, at this stage, no more than a month and a half left in his presidency, but now decides to go to Africa as basically a publicity stunt. Because as we know, once Trump gets in here, and I agree with you, like we don't want them in Africa anyway. We don't want them in any parts. But this is sort of more of a publicity stunt of showing that somehow the United States cares about African welfare. And again, they highlighted these trains that apparently as China is building roads, airports, docks, and everything else, the United States is highlighting a train system that at one point the Secretary of State tried to suggest was new and given freely to these different nation states or whatever. And really some of these trains are used and are sort of given at different market cost and all the rest of it. So this is obviously a big show that doesn't do anything for Africa except for as a publicity stunt.
See, but I disagreed it was a publicity stunt because I know tragically little about what specifically took him there, but I can only assume that the thuggery was happening behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we'll trot out Slow Joe out here for the photo op with the other African heads of state, but then the real meetings, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Here's what's about to happen, right? That's how America goes, when they go to other countries. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what y'all are going to do. And here's what we're going to do if y'all don't do what we tell you to do, right? Like that's what my perception about.
Well, I think you're right on. Yeah, no, on that part, I think you're completely correct. Yeah. I think what we're not seeing is obviously the behind the scenes conversations around what resources get moved, shoring up leaders, making sure money is dished to the side. I think all of that, I think you're completely correct. All of that is the background stuff that we're not getting. Yeah. Because I think there is that film. I mean, I forgot the nation that just banned French troops, and just had a whole announcement about it. So again, there's things happening on the continent that is definitely a shift of alliances that's going on in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And the question becomes, is the United States feeling flat-footed and now doing some of these things you like to shore it up? And what does that mean for future coups and overthrows and stabilizing governments that the U.S. supports? So,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so y'all want to talk about the South African martial law?
Or South Korean.
South Korean.
That's what I meant. I'm so sorry. There might be a little martial law in South Africa.
Yeah.
too.
What happened? Like, I didn't get a chance to look too closely at it, but I'm thinking, I thought this was supposed to be the quote unquote good Korea, where capitalism and U.S. support and sanction made everything okay.
It was grand opening, grand closing. Oh, it's martial law. Psych. It is not. But shout out to the Koreans, though. Wait, we can see if y'all can find a video. I think the pictures coming out of Seoul are quite impressive, because there were some video I saw of South Korean troops with big guns pointed out the crowd. And the women was like, get that shit out of my face. Get that shit out of here. And the troops is like, oh, shit. And I'm like, wow, let that have been America. It'd have been dozens dead.
Mm-hmm.
But
so this article quickly says, like, on South Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol, and I'm sure I'm fucking that up too, so apologies, declared martial law for the first time since 1980. And people don't remember, although it's been a while, South Korea was a U.S. ally and dictatorship for a long time. Chaos began to unfold as police scuffled with protesters and soldiers flew on military helicopters to storm the National Assembly compound in Seoul. They say 6 hours of chaos and just a short, frantic hours. Lawmakers were forced to climb the walls into the National Assembly in order to lift the martial law decree after being blocked by military troops and police. They're saying here how it's unfolded, and this is basically I don't know a lot about the two warring parties or factions, but one party controls the National Assembly, the other party controls the presidency, and these have been ongoing skirmishes between the two since the election of this particular president. And so this article talks about Yoon, a career prosecutor, squeezed out a victory in the tightest presidential election in South Korean history in 2022, riding a wave of discontent over economic policy scandals and gender wars. But he has been unpopular with his support ratings hovering around 20% for months. And it says, what's next? In the impeachment process, 6 South Korean opposition parties submitted a bill in parliament on Wednesday to impeach Yoon, who had already faced accusations of heavy-handed leadership from his opponents and from within his own party, with voting set for Friday or Saturday. And so they're having their own impeachment trials happening now.
Interesting that gender wars was included as amongst the president's many social problems that he's confronting right now. Gender wars, wow. Because the 4B movement originated out of South Korea, where Korean women are not dealing with men anymore, hetero Korean women anyway. But it's interesting that gender wars was included in all the political and social upheaval. Interesting. Thoughts? I don't know enough about Korea.
Yeah, I don't either, other than I thought that was supposed to be the good spot. That's what I just keep saying. Like, what happened to all the good capitalism and U.S. support? Like, I thought that's supposed to solve all problems, and here we go. Let me find out. There's people upset. Imagine that. But I don't know enough about what they mean. What the issue is with the with the leadership.
It feels like it's the two major parties battling, and so it could be something similar to the United States Republican Democrats, where it means a lot internally, but in terms of actual policies, it may not mean a lot. So
Interesting that he used the threat of communism or creeping communism as part of the reason to institute this martial law. I said, "Oh, look at him taking the play, just reading right out the script, right out the U.S. Anti-communism script." So I don't mean to categorize a whole group of people off of one conversation I had with one person from out of this group. However, However, my acupuncturist is from South Korea, like from there, like far out this joint, right? He ain't been here that long. And he talks very favorably about Kim Jong-un and the North. And he claims that they are the real Korean patriots and that the South has capitulated so much to the US and to capitalism and to the US military, blah, blah, blah. He claims that the real riders are the North Koreans because they actually uphold Korean values. I'm not really sure exactly where he was going with that, but he did not speak ill. He did not speak ill of the North. Let's put it that way.
But Kim was like, he got the needles right now, so I'm not gonna raise too many questions. I'm gonna let that one.
Actually, this guy taught me a lot. He told me to go investigate the Tomb of 10,000 Noses.
Oh, wow.
And he was talking about the Japanese subjugation of the Koreans, and this one Japanese, I don't know if he was an emperor or what kind of leader he was, but allegedly cut off the noses of 10,000 Koreans and took them joints on a tour around the country as a reminder to the rest of y'all. Like, see, one of these noses could be yours. Don't fuck around. So no, he gave me some real interesting insights about Korea that I did not previously know. But I don't think that everyone in the South is hostile to the North. Let's just put it
No, not at all. Yeah, reunification is something that both everyday citizens, let's say, family members, nationalism, want to happen. But whether or not it's going to happen in terms of what the North has to give up, right? The South being part of the U.S. imperialist empire, basically is trying to make the North heel to the demands of the South, which is to open up the economy to Western exploitation. And that part is just not happening. So I don't think so. It's not whatever the movement is for unification. It's not something that trajectory wise is going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm by far from an expert, but I get a lot of the same kind of in left academic spaces I've been in. When you hear people off the mic and off record, often this is the sentiment that they express. Similar, not or at least to me, not that dissimilar from what I've heard from former East Germans, and West or Germans, that about East Germany, that they were like, not everybody thought they were wrong, and not everybody thought that the post-wall collapse capitalist ways were the right way to, it was not everybody was like, we see always the footage of people knocking down the wall and hugging and getting, but apparently there were more people who were kind of like, right. And then look at look at the situation now. East Germany is still like a relative I don't know, second-class citizen or whatever they call it, something. It's not as. Anyway, the point being, it doesn't. The claims that capital is going to solve everybody's problems are obviously not real, and the people who suffer under the so-called regimes of the communist enemy don't always feel as bad as is expressed here in the U.S. So that's why when I saw the headline, I was like, yeah, I do need to look into this, because I thought it was supposed to be all good down here. What happened? What happened? So listen real quick. I know, Ear Doctor, if you want to, I don't know, we got to get out of here. I want to quickly let folks know, give folks in advance on the homework assignment that Friday, a week from this coming Friday, so you got a little bit of time. We did reschedule with Nick Estes, who is going to come on to talk about Leonard Peltier, among other things. And we're going to assign as an assignment this new documentary out on Hulu called The Vow of Silence, The Assassination of Annie Mae. And if folks are familiar with the Peltier case, Annie Mae is one of the figures who comes up questionably in terms of her testimony against Leonard. And this documentary apparently poses a state favored, state favored bias against Peltier. So we've been asked to review this. Nick Estes is going to join us Friday morning here on the Remix a week from tomorrow to talk about it. So everybody's got time to watch it, get their notes, and join us. So just want to give that long range heads up on the homework.
All right. Make sure y'all get your homework in. All right. What else we got coming up? Kim, you got anything coming up?
I didn't say Nick Fuentes, did I? I said
No,
Estes.
said
Okay,
Estes.
thank you. Okay, because
Said
so this must be a joke. Nick Fuentes. Okay, all right, just check it. Please don't get it
definitely said
twisted. Yeah, please don't get it twisted. There
Mm.
wouldn't be no interview. But go ahead.
Kim, you got anything coming up before we get out of here?
The show, the after party, the hotel.
Okay.
Burn It Down with Kim Brown, Tuesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Set your bells notification. Subscribe to the channel, please, and thank you. Thanks to all that continue to show up and support. So many remixers are part of the Fire Fam and vice versa. So appreciate y'all big time.
Kamal? No.
No.
All right. So make sure y'all turn back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We got some more
Got-
for you.
What you got going on here, doctor?
I don't got much going on. This is the last day of school, after school program. I'm going to go
Oh, okay.
feed the kids and hang out and then chill out for the rest of the weekend. So, yeah, nothing much. I might do a Sundays. I might do a pop-up. I'll probably do a pop-up. So
Do a pop-up, son. Do a pop-up.
yeah. Pop up, pop out. All right. With that said, we're going to be out and be back here tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remixes. Peace out. Be out of here. Yeah. It's the Remix Morning Show. In case you ain't know, I got the flow to take you back like H2O. It's pure water. Piece of your daughter. Piece of your son. Piece of every fucking one. We out. Peace. Remix Morning Show.